Okay, NFL is not just about your team. It's like a marriage. It's not just the one, it's the other, and how they mix and come together. So many times, remember the Dolphins in the 90s, we were a good team. It's just we had the Bills in our division, and they were a really good team. And so I'm going to track a little bit of the stuff that's going on through the course of the camp of the other teams in the AFC East, because, yeah, it's important to know what's going on beyond your own division. But if you can take your division, you get into the show, and that is what it's all about. So I'm going to cover what's going on with the today, the first day of practice, the general news circulating around the Bills, the Patriots, and the Jets. Just an overview to give you a taste. As big news comes, I'll cover these other teams more in depth. But just to give Fin fans or fans of these teams a quick overview in case maybe they don't have that information. Savvy? Comprendez-vous? Anyway, it's here. It feels good to have football back again. Big news is coming. And like I said, this news is going to get hotter, bigger. And I do believe the AFC East is going to be a meat grinder. Although some of the stuff that I saw here today could mean there might be some duds, and it might not be the meat grinder if things continue in the same direction. So I'm going to start off with the Jets. I hate the Jets the most. Except for the Patriots. I think Patriots the most. As a kid, it was the Jets. You hated the Jets. And then, the Bills took over. It was a kind of short, intense run. And then it was 20 years of hating the Patriots. So I guess Patriots first, Jets second, and then Bills last. So Jets, with the additions of Rodgers, Quinn Williams now on for the long term. This team is supposed to be a tough team, really vying for first in the division and maybe even second, bumping off a team that's expected to be in that position, either the Bills or the Dolphins. But they're struggling early. It's so early. But the offensive line really is the biggest question mark. They got screwed by Bill with the Patriots. He traded back, let the Steelers in. They grabbed Broderick, the tackle, which the Jets were desperate. I mean, they must have been ripping the hair out of their heads. So Becton, he wasn't practicing this day one. Or I think for the Jets, it's been a couple of days of practice. Dolphins, it was day one. He missed today. Off-season knee injury, surgery, a little swelling or whatever. They wanted to give him some rest, which is not a big deal if you don't really factor in that this guy has seen far less action than action over the course of his career, and the knee is a major problem. Now, this could be managed and be fine for the season, but you don't want this. And there's a lot of struggles that kind of filtered out from this rotation of tackles. And it's a glimpse of the problems that could actually happen come the season. I think Rodgers is good. I think he's going to be very good. But no offensive line or damaged offensive line that limits your run game, that is no bueno. So there was a lot of offensive sputters. Johnson, who they drafted last year, destroyed Mitchell on a one rep, but a couple of reps, he really dominated him. Mitchell was drafted, I think third, fourth, later round kind of guy. He played for a little bit, and then he had some blood clot issues, I believe, and he's back now. He's not a guy you want starting, and it just kind of symptomatic of what was going on. And Rodgers looks really good. I think he's going to be in great shape, but he needs a run game, especially in this division when you got good secondaries with the Patriots and the Dolphins and Bills. Maybe a lot of those guys come up. Certainly a good defense. You need balance. I don't care who you are as a quarterback. When you're going against a good defense, if you just got to throw all day, and then throw and run what it looks like, it's not good news. And so they had very little space in the run game. And so Breece Hall's coming back, but he looked good, but, no space, no bueno. So overall, the Jets' day it's so early. We got to see what goes down as far as the tackle position, the offensive line position, pulling in a new system. There's a lot that goes into it. It's not to get totally crazy, but this is going to be a major story. As I said with the Dolphins, this offensive line is going to be the major story for both teams. Now, Bills, I still think Bills are going to be super tough. When you got Allen, you got a bunch of talent. I love the addition of Torrance. Von's coming back, although he was on PUP along with Phillips. But they're veterans. That's not a big deal at this stage. It's kind of like Tehran with the Dolphins. Okay, whatever. Diggs, who's a huge piece of the puzzle, had a big offseason that was very negative, ended the postseason game against the Bengals, yelling at Allen, and then no word on him. And then he had the weird tweet you could see here, capping thing, big guy, big dog. And now he finally comes out almost out of 6 months since the event. And says, oh, no, it's all overblown, this thing with Allen. But it seems like a lot of, who's he talking about? No capping. Who's he yelling at in front of? But they're professionals. And, he's getting paid a lot of money. And he wants to win. I mean, that's not a problem. He wants to win. So even if they're not best buddies, holding hands, getting, shakes together and watching movies on Sunday or whatever they're doing, they don't have to be best friends. It's professionalism. And I think at least for now, Diggs is choosing to be a professional. See how it plays out. Who knows? Something to keep your eye on. The great story, though, is Damar Hamlin has returned. The word is he's going to be full go come camp. And, oh, my God, a kid that young, almost dying on the field. It was brutal to watch. It must have been brutal for the parents, brutal for the fan base, brutal for the team, brutal for anybody who has any kind of heart. So this is great news for the Bills, for humanity, for anybody, that this young kid is made his way back. And so that is great news. He was having a pretty decent season last year, and so this will help the Bills. Obviously, it's just great news for the kid and his family. Now, the Hines incident, he ski jet or skiing or some kind of motor vehicle outside, just screwing around, blew his knee out. And he's a good player for them for returns, third down back. He kind of can be Cook B in that situation. Real nice depth with Harris and Cook. They signed some vet, but whatever. But he's done for the year. We know that. But there was talk that maybe they're going to fish for Cook somehow and find money because the running back position is so cheap now. They could just extend one guy 1 year and probably find the money for him. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. I think with the loss of Hines, they might have to go fish big. I think Cook is I think it's less. It's not going to happen, but I think it's more of a possibility now that Hines is down, and there is some word and some other storylines. If you're a Finn fan, you understand why maybe Cook might not be going to the Dolphins due to the abuse of a woman and tying that into the story that's going on Hill and all that other stuff. So anyway, that will be an interesting thing to play out. They need a run game too. And, if Harris goes down, then you're down to Cook and this other guy I can't remember. So I think they might be in the need. Oh, no, they have the other guy, Cordell Patterson. Oh, God, I can't remember the guy's name. He was a pretty good vet, big kid. Sorry about that, guys. Slipped the brain, getting a little old. I don't write a script for this thing. So that's right. They do have that one extra guy. He's old, though. He's like 33. Had a good season last year. I guess that does bring a little bit of space that maybe they don't need Cook or another guy. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Anyway, before I get to the Pats, which I think is the biggest news, the most news, I want to give you guys a shout out and a shout out to Ace Per Head, my sponsor, because without the two of you, this show ain't going down. Ace Per Head's betting software is the premier white label platform for bookies to manage their players and grow their sportsbook operation. Click the link in the description below to get set up in minutes. Ask for the Curtis promo and get a special introductory discount. All right, now let's get to the Pats. Pats, I think they can challenge. I think they could be a very good team, a pretty good team, good enough to be second in the division. I don't think they can reach first in the division. I don't see that. But to get to second in division and knock maybe a Bills or Jets or Dolphins into that third spot and out of the playoffs would be the Super Bowl for them. And from the word that's going around, Bill needs it. Bill's on a hot seat from what they say. Who knows if what they say is true. But Pats have a good defense, a very good defense. And Bill is still great as a defensive mind. Nobody can deny that. But they need some kind of competent offense, something in the 15 to 12 range, solid run game, good protection, and they are struggling early. Again, O'Brien came in. It's a new offense for them, and so you got to give a little time. But boy, oh boy, are we seeing shades of last year, and it is looking ugly. Now, before we get into the offense, the defense side, which is really critical, Marte Mapu, who a lot of people are very, very high on, playing that hybrid safety linebacker role. He's coming back from a torn pec, so he's a little slow, but he's a big piece. They are betting a lot on him. They got Duggar. I love Duggar. I can't admit. I mean, Bill's crazy. He lets everybody walk. I don't know if they're going to let him walk, but certainly Mapu is going to be big for him this year. But then also next year, if they let Duggar walk, they don't want to spend the money. So he's coming back from the injury. Jack Jones got like 50 gun charges. I mean, like he was ready to start like World War II with all these gun charges they got on him. He's available, but who knows how long. Those are some very serious charges he has. If he gets taken out of the picture, he's that man guy, that fast speed man guy they could put on Hill. They could put on, some of these quicker guys, like maybe even Wilson one-on-one, slow him down, kind of change the look, have that hybrid man zone look. He's a pretty good cornerback and a nice piece to the puzzle. But he showed up. Onwenu, now this ties into the offense. He's coming off an ankle injury. He's slow to get in. This guy is so talented. Is Bill going to let Duggar and Onwenu walk? Is Bill going to even be here next year? I don't know. But this guy Onwenu is awesome. He's such a good talent. He's such an amazing talent. He's coming off the ankle injury. Now, it all comes down to Jones. Jones was drafted like 15th. I thought it was a good pick for the Patriots. He had an excellent first season. Last year with Patricia, it was a disaster. There was all talk of having problems with Bill, with the team, just kind of getting really weird a little bit, and struggling. And it was expected to be a little different this year, and that's what they're going to need. But Calais Campbell, who you got to respect, this guy's an unbelievable player, said he's like he was most disrespectful trash talker of all the quarterbacks. And I think that's kind of funny, because he's struggled last year. And you don't expect, he looks like Rain Man, but he's a trash talker. It's a very weird combo, this kid. But he struggled early, 1 for 3 in 7-on-7s with a pick. And then 4 of 7 for 11-on-11s. The entire quarterback group passing the football only had 35% completion percentage in their passes. And that, it can develop, it's going to grow and all that. But man, that's not where you want to start with. And, between the Jets with their struggle on the offensive line and this slow start to the passing game of the Patriots, it does open the door for both these teams going back to who we thought they were, which is garbage. Now, a long way from here to there, but this is a trend we're going to have to monitor. Another one is our former guy, Gesicki. They're really using a 2 tight end set, kind of hailing back to Gonzalez and Gronk. I don't think it's going to be as effective, but it will be interesting to see how that plays out. So they got a long way to go. So that's where we're at. We got our problems, the Dolphins, with this offensive line in Toronto. We'll see how that plays out. Some talk by Omar Kelly that Lamb, the tackle, signed for $1.16 million. He was doing really good, but there's no pads. I can't buy into that. So all these teams having a little bit of issues. I think Bills the least so far. And then Dolphins second least, Jets third least, and the Patriots are looking like the redhead stepchild early on. So this is Curtis saying, thanks for stopping by. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate everything you guys do. I was about to say go Dolphins, but I forgot there's probably all the guys here. So I try to cover all these teams fairly because by understanding them, I can cover my team better, and I don't want to be called a charlatan or a stooge for my team because that's not going to help anybody out. That's not what I do here. So thanks for stopping by. If you're Dolphins fans or other teams fans, I do cover. You can check my other coverage. It is as fair as I could possibly get. At least I think that way and I'm told that way. So anyway, Curtis saying, catch you next time. Be well. Start building your own online sportsbook today by getting signed up with aceperhead.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.